Hello dear traders. For today's session I decided to cover USD versus Japanese yen, and I will speak about the gold market. I will start first with the USD versus Japanese yen. So what I found here is basically that in the last, I will say, 24 hours, I found basically that we got potential for the downside exhaustion. So there was like a falling wedge. We have this lower trend line which is going perfect with the highs that we got here in the previous price action. And we got the lows right there. Now we got some downside breakout, probably to shake out some early buyers. We got this a little shakeout, downside movement, the breakout of this lower trend line. But I think this is overall a great zone for support, and I do think that we can see the upside movement in the rally in the next period. So this is a 30-minute time frame. I will also show the market profile and how the situation looks like watching the USD versus Japanese yen chart through the profile chart. This is the MT4 platform from InstaForex, here we can see basically that last week we got a perfectly defined lower ledge and the upper ledge and this middle ledge right there. Now the price is basically trying to trade lower, probably trying to revisit this top of the ledge, and this top of the ledge is acting like support. But we can see the control zone is actually above the current price. So there is a control zone is 10 pips above from the current day, and yesterday the upper ledge is set at 111.10. So my advice basically will be to watch for buying opportunities. Either we go from here and rotate anywhere around this stage, this whole zone can act like support, or we fully retest the 110.53 and then eventually reject. I do expect that upside rotation in the next period. Now, this idea will become invalid and will be invalid if we really go and take the low of this ledge around 110.45. So as long we are trading above that 110.45, 110.43 zone, I see this upside rotation. There's plenty of the potential there. So there is 40 to 70, even up to the 90 pips potential. So with a defined risk around 25 pips or so, trying to make about 85 or 50 to 75 pips, there is a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio to play. So I think this is, from the major currency pairs that I observed, this is most interesting, that is active right now. So that is the one thing. The second thing is I want to speak is about gold market. Gold market got bear divergence on the 30-minute time frame this morning. So basically in the last 3 hours we got this divergence. Again, divergence is on the oscillators. Basically the market is making the higher high, but the oscillator is making the lower high. So there is that divergence between the oscillator and the price action. So I do expect today some downside rotation on the gold. I think we reached extreme zone. We got a full Tokyo session upside and the upside on the Europe session. So I do expect US session to do some kind of the downside rotation. So watch for that intraday downside rotation towards the 1,802 and 1,795, which is the area of the recent swing highs. So this is one interesting intraday opportunity which can turn into some good downside cycle, at least for today. So, 5 pips down at the minimum that I could expect on this divergence, and then if there is even more downside power, who knows, maybe even 17.95. Also, another thing is that we got a massive supply in the background, and there is a tons of the supply back there, so the price will decide to go higher. Around 1825, 1830, there will be a huge resistance on this one around this 1825, 1830. So, downside rotation is expected. If this pullback will eventually provide a new wave of buyers, then 1825, 1830 can be a great reversal zone and great zone for potential bigger selling, because the tons of the sellers entered around that stage a few weeks ago. So. But for now, we must call this like a bear divergence on the 30, and we hit some extreme, so downside rotation in the near term, very possible. That'll be all for today. See you all tomorrow morning.